Hello my friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Novella. Today is Friday and that means a deep dive. And let's do that in deep water, shall we? Deep Water is written in 1958 by the magnificent Patricia Highsmith. Together with Ollie, we are reading her complete catalogue this year and we are at the 5th book and we both very much enjoyed it because yesterday Ollie also posted his video. Now, what I like so much about Patricia Highsmith, and especially in this book, she wrote it 2 years after Mr. Ripley, and to me this is a much better book. Why? Because she plays with our minds, she manipulates our feelings. Right from the get-go, she, in a way, blames the victim or makes the victim the bad guy and the killer the good guy. And that's what's so magnificent. So this story talks about Vic and Melinda. Vic is a geek, a bit nerdy. He is well off. He has his own company. He also has a trust fund, and yeah, he's well off. And Melinda is the polar opposite. She's loud, she's rude, she's beautiful, tall, everything that Vic isn't. And at the beginning of the book, he says, well, marrying Melinda was like breaking a horse. He just pushed her till she finally gave in and married him. They have a little girl, Trixie, and Melinda does nothing but partying and seeing other men in public, so everybody is aware of the situation. And Vic just takes care of Trixie and makes sure that she studies well and yeah, that she's fed in time and she is bathed in time, and yeah, he's really a great dad. And his other hobbies are, well, studying, bedbugs and snails. Nothing really exciting, but something you can perfectly do on your own. And right from the start of this book, she lays down her cards, but in a masterful way. Vic didn't dance, but not for the reasons that most men who don't dance give to themselves. He didn't dance simply because his wife liked to dance. His rationalization of his attitude was a flimsy one and didn't fool him for a minute, though it crossed his mind every time he saw Melinda dancing. She was insufferably silly when she danced. She made dancing embarrassing. In a way, we already know that he is fuming inside. He is... What he shows to the people is almost stoic, but inside he's burning. It's boiling. And Melinda gives him uppercuts after uppercuts and after uppercuts, and she makes a fool of herself and their relationship, their marriage, his good name. And she goes on. The fact that Melinda had been carrying on like this for more than 3 years gave Vic the reputation in Little Wesley of having a saint-like patience and forbearance, which in turn flattered Vic's ego. Vic knew that Horace and Phil Cohen and everybody else who knew the situation, which was nearly everybody, considered him odd for enduring it. But Vic didn't mind at all being considered odd. In fact, he was proud of it in a country in which most people aimed at being exactly like everybody else. So in a way, we have a relationship that is very badly functioning. They even sleep in separate bedrooms. But also he is enjoying in a way that his wife behaves the way she does, because it makes him look better. It makes him look like a stoic, like a man in control. A bit odd, but that he doesn't mind. And then at a certain point, there was one of the boyfriends of Melinda gets killed. And at a party, there's a party with the neighbors, he talks to two of her current lovers, and he says, well, I killed that man. And yeah, of course, word goes around. Nobody believes that Vic is responsible for those killings. But those two men leave town as quickly as they can, and Melinda is furious. And then the real killer gets caught, so people know, well, you see, he's not a murderer. But then it becomes complicated, and then it becomes a masterful book. Then something else happens, and another lover is killed. He is drowned in the pool, hence deep water. And one of the guests is Dan Wilson, I believe, or Dawn Wilson. And he feels something is off with Vic. He feels that this is not right. This is not right. He is not the man that he shows to the world. And that's when the whole book becomes interesting and fascinating. And this is a book that I was blown away by this book, especially the way she plays and with us and manipulates us and makes us feel certain things. And then, we hate, in a way, Melinda because she is such a bad mother, but does she deserve Vic? And Vic, is he not taking it too far? And it is so brilliantly done, and her writing is so sparse and so there's a sort of tension coming off it. It's so well done. It's so well done. And this is suspense at the highest level, at the very highest level. Not a word too many, not a word too few. It's brilliant. Now, I've also watched the movie, and there are big differences between the two. The ending is completely different, by the way, if you are curious about that. So don't watch the movie and think, oh yeah, I read the book. No, it's completely different. Of course, it's also modernized a bit, although it wasn't necessary for me, because this book, it's hard to believe that this book is written in 1958, because it feels so fresh and so modern. And so I've never read a book that is almost 70 years old and talks about open marriages and where everybody knows about it. Yeah, it's a sort of, you could say, well, dangerous liaisons, but that wasn't in the open. And this one was, it must have been, I can understand why Deepwater, although it's much better than Miss Ripley, is lesser known. Because it's so ahead of its time. If you want to read one last book, well, make it this one. Because it's brilliant. And her prose is... She is at the top of her game here. This is a Patricia Highsmith in her absolute height of her ability. It took me a couple of days to recuperate. I mean that all the books afterwards were like rubbish. And it took me a couple of days to get into other books. So yeah, that's how impactful it was to me. I really, really, really highly. Oh, I forgot the word. Anyway, read it. It's good. See you Sunday. Bye-bye.